The Microsoft Imagine Cup is the world's premier student technology competition. It is a unique method in bringing out the students' imagination and abilities in improving the world around us. One of the major problems facing this era is the amount of energy wasted and pollution in all its types. Although many researches and new developments have been made in trying to avoid this issue, yet it still seems like the problem is inevitable. Mostly because our human instincts have adapted to the lifestyle in which we have been born and grew up in. Changing old habits is something very difficult to overcome in a world which has been created to make everything easier to use. The future predictions of electrical consumption sometimes may seem terrifying. Many people would agree that the evolution of technology has made the world more of a synthetic place to live in, and it hardly feels natural anymore. For example, the light pollution of cities has made it very difficult to enjoy the magical sight of stars in our galaxy, and in order to enjoy such a thing, one must go to places far away from civilization. Lights are one of the most consumed energy in our time, but since it has been an essential resource in our lives, people fail to realize how much of the light energy is being consumed and wasted to provide us with such luxury. But what can really be done to improve and save energy consumed by mankind into today's world? We choose random people and ask them what they thought consumes the most energy on a country's scale, and those were their responses.
I would say malls.
I think it's heaters.
Okay, I think mostly the malls or like that.
I think the most thing is the AC, the air condition.
I think factories.
I guess the air conditions that's used in the houses.
In the malls? Well, I think that usually happens in homes especially, and of course the malls that keep the lights on, use so much of electricity, and are not aware of actually saving as much. So I think that's what.
Unfortunately, none of them got it correct. And one of the worst problems a civilization can face is a problem that's unaware of its existence. So what does consume the most energy these days? Sometimes the best answer to such complex questions is the simplest and most obvious ones. Electrical consumption has been the most critical issue of today's world. And so, Team Future Torch has discovered that the most electrical energy wasted in today's world is the electricity used to constantly light up highways, yet people are completely unaware of that. So what can be done to avoid such a problem? Team Future Torch has developed a project that will reduce and save electrical energy by almost 91%. How? An LED intensity grid highway tracking and surveillance system. This is Project Lights. Research has proven that if a system has been developed and enforced on a person, it is very likely that the system will be criticized and will cause less people to use it. So the best strategy in developing a system is to create a system that will adapt into today's world, so the uncomfortable feeling of change will be avoided. Lights is a system that will control the way the lights on the highways operate. How? Simply by switching the lights on when needed and off when not. An average human being sleeps 8 hours a day and stays awake for 16 hours. Most of those 16 hours are spent during the daytime while carrying out daily routine processes, for example, going to work and other chores. Descending into the night, highway lamps activate to illuminate the roads for the drivers. But if you think about it, taking an example of a sunset at 5 p.m. and a sunrise at 6 a.m., the highway lamps are on for almost 13 hours. But are they really that necessary to keep them on for that long? If an average human being goes home at approximately 11 p.m., so that leaves 7 hours of unused highway lights activated for no reason. And it's wasting so much energy that if that energy was used to charge up batteries, it will be enough to light up highways on its own for almost a whole year, if not more. Lights is designed to prevent this kind of energy or electrical waste. The system consists of an ultrasonic sensors embedded in the lampposts that are in charge of activating the lights of a specific grid it is assigned to. The sensor simply detects a car approaching the grid, and before reaching the grid by a specific distance, the lights are automatically switched on for a specific amount of time, and once the car exits the grid, the lights are switched off. The current worldwide system uses 400 watts sodium light bulbs. If those lights are used on an average of 12 hours per day, then that's 4.8 kilowatts per hour per lamp per day. The sodium light bulbs take too much time to activate and reach maximum light intensity, and so using them in the light system would be pointless. So instead, 60 watts LED lamps will be used, reducing the consumption to 0.72 kilowatts per hour per lamp per day. That's an 85% of energy saved if used in the current highway lighting system. Given that the highways are deserted from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m., then that's 2.4 kilowatts per hour of energy wasted per lamp per day. A trial has been conducted by the team Future Torch in a commonly used highway in Bahrain to find out how much energy is really required or consumed if the light system is applied on the highway on a time period from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. The result was the lights will be activated for total time of 2.34 hours, if not less. That's 0.14 kilowatts per hour per lamp per day using the light system. In other words, 94% electrical energy will be saved. In conclusion, the current system uses 400 watts sodium lamps which are active for approximately 12 hours a day, resulting to the consumption of 4.8 kilowatts per hour per lamp per day. The light system will use 60 watts LED lamps which will be active for approximately 8.34 hours a day, resulting to the consumption of 0.5 kilowatts per hour per lamp per day. That's 90% of energy being saved, or 90% of energy being wasted in today's system. In the case of a car stopping at a certain grid, the grid will remain lit until the car starts to move again. But if the car fails to move for a specific amount of time, for example 15 minutes, a notification will be sent to the traffic department reporting a car has been immobilized, and therefore the system will be switched into surveillance mode to be monitored by the traffic department. The traffic department can then simply distribute a rescue service to assist the driver at the allocated grid. For example, if a couple of cars seems to have been in an accident and the drivers are unconscious at a very late time past midnight, nobody is around to help them, and their lives are in danger. With the light system, the traffic department will learn of the situation and therefore send an ambulance to rescue those drivers in need. In the case of an immobilized car is parked at the side of the road, the driver has opened the car's engine hood. Then the traffic department will learn that the car has mechanically broken down and will send a road assist car to help. Did you know that the current sodium light lamps emit CO2 upon usage? CO2 is considered one of the main factors leading to global warming. LED lamps will not emit these harmful gases. They will also not require maintenance as the current sodium lamps do, and will have a much larger lifetime, approximately 65 years before they are required to be changed. The current sodium light lamps give off an annoying orange glow which has been proven over time will affect our eyes in harmful ways, and also affecting natural coloring visibility. The LED lamps will be less harmful and also make visibility during night driving seem a little more natural. Humanity will live a natural life with the light system, since the lights are switched off during unused hours. Light pollution will reduce magnificently, and so people living next to highways will sleep better and comfortably, without having to experience disturbance from highway lights ever again. This will also make the visibility of the sky at night much clearer, and so the Earth inhabitants can once again enjoy the beauty of our skies. The light system is a standalone system and can easily replace the current system. The light system is programmed to function completely automatically, but in the unlikely event of the system breaking down, the system can manually be overridden to activate all the lamps on all the grids, reverting the light system to the old system temporarily until the error has been fixed. The light system components are all embedded in the LED lamps and requires only a power supply from the existing street lamppost to function. As for the data transmission, the lamps are all wirelessly connected in a network circuit, and each multiple grids are centralized around an access point which will be the main control linked to the traffic or electrical department for monitoring.
It's a good idea.
But actually it has a lot of advantages, which is it conserves a lot of electricity, and it helps people who gets emergencies suddenly on the highways and no one actually knows about them.
Okay, if it's only for highways, it's a good idea.
It's a good system and creative. You could implement it, but I don't know why anyone else thought of it till now.
I think it would be very useful to save the power and use it in other ways.
It's a very good idea, I think. It's maybe makes it for our electricity more.
So, yeah, definitely I support the idea. If you can do it and if it saves so much, then yeah, why not? Go ahead. Good idea.
Of this system, I guess can be reduced more than the existing system, because we're gonna to use the electricity only when we need to use it.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's something that would be very effective, and it's something that should be looked at. So I think it's a great idea for a project.
Lights is a simple yet effective system that contains safety, security, energy saving, and environmental friendly features, all compiled up into one package. Drivers will hardly feel the difference because it will seem like nothing has changed as they drive through highways lit up especially for them. Such a system will guarantee an effective impact on our world, simply because it fits the world that we already know. And the reason why it's the system of the future is because it's just like the system of today.